most people equate their life to their job. Like if you ask people about their passion and purpose and all these things, and what makes life exciting, what makes life colorful, what makes life passionate, purposeful and abundant, people always relate it to only career. And that is sad. Because in life there's so many other things that make up you as a person. And for me, that is the thing that people need to work on.
Hello guys, welcome to the Achievers Show. So our goal at the show is to bring to you some of the world's top achievers to explore their mindset and strategies for you to break through your career success. So in today's episode, we have a really special guest. So for the past 8 years, he has dedicated his life towards understanding what makes humans perform at their very best. And he coached and trained thousands of people across 15 countries. And he is a transformation coach in one of the largest world transformation school, Mind Valley. He is also the founder of Life Redesign, and he coached and developed young people to achieve success and find fulfillment in their life. He has worked with leaders from Procter and Gamble, IBM, Accenture, and he is the member of Forbes Coaching Council, a member from Hive Leadership Program in the Harvard Business School, and also a part of Global Shapers Community initiative by World Economic Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Coach Kar Fei.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you. Really nice. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So Coach Kar Fei, why not start by introducing yourself to our audience?
Well, hi everyone. My name is Kar Fei. I go by the name Coach Kar Fei. Also because my surname is Chia, so it's same C.
Yep.
I have been coaching for almost 10 years now,
Yep.
and been spending a lot of time really understanding and working with a lot of young professionals.
Yep.
In helping them to kind of reprogram or really look at their mindset so that they can achieve the success that they want. And over the years, having started my own coaching company and then working in one of the world's largest personal development company, Mind Valley, I've been coaching a lot, and I've been getting a lot more insights over the years about what make people successful, and what are the things needed to really help people to achieve what they want to achieve in their life.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, that's what I do, and I've been, I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you. So our topic today is reprogramming your mind to find your passion, your purpose, and your abundance.
Yeah.
So how do you find your passion in life?
For me personally, I started coaching at a really young age.
How old is it?
I got my first coaching certification when I was 20 years old.
Okay.
I started the first coaching business when I was 21. And do I know if that's my passion? Back then, my answer is no. So the reason why I say that is because I stumbled upon coaching.
Yeah.
If 12 years ago you go around and you tell my parents that you can make money by getting invited to speak on stage or by coaching people and really helping people, they will think you're crazy. They actually thought I was crazy. But thankfully they supported me in the first few years to do it. And how did I find that passion? It's two things. Number one, I was really, really thankful I had a mentor. And this mentor actually volunteered himself to mentor me when I was 19.
Okay.
And I came from Ipoh. I came to KL when I was 18 to study here. Probably like my first time living on my own, first time being out of Ipoh. And of course, at that time I was really passionate about just chasing the money. I want to get a corporate job, graduate, and really be successful in life. But this mentor of me, he probably sees something different, and he volunteered himself to kind of coach me and mentor me. And then from there on, it just changed. And he built up so much on my personality and my self-confidence that I started to realize that this is something that I can do for others. After like 12 months of mentoring and coaching with him, I asked myself, because I was still studying back then, I asked myself, if this one person can help me, what if I do the same thing for more people? Because I was going to uni, I was seeing all these university students, they're spending a lot of time like just going to classes.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that all like, university and life is? And I asked myself that question, what if I do the same for more people? And that's how I started my first coaching company when I was 21, to really kind of help youth and you see students so that they can live a more fulfilling life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I kind of found my passion in that.
So that mentor of yours, how did he manage to transform you? What are the characteristics or traits that he implemented to you that you think that is beneficial for you and you want to share it with other people?
And one of the things that I'm really working on in all my coaching and in the seminars that I run for young professionals, and also in the book that I'm writing right now, the biggest thing for me personally is self-confidence.
Okay.
You might not believe, but before my mentor coached me and kind of see that potential in me, I'm that kid where I wouldn't even dare to take up the mic to get on stage.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even dare to raise up my hand in class to ask question.
Yeah.
I was that crazy, shy, introvert, follower guy who literally have no idea what I want to do in my life, have no confidence in myself at all.
Yeah.
But this mentor of mine, he sees the potential in me. I don't know why, really, I really don't know why until today. The only reason I know why he wanted to mentor me, after that he told me, was that he was doing his coaching certification.
Okay.
So he needed his practical hours,
Yeah.
so he volunteered to do it for me without me knowing that he's coaching me, right? So I really don't know why he see that potential, but he, over the 6 to 12 months, he really worked with me to kind of really get clarity about really what I want to do in my life and kind of help me to build that self-confidence that is lacking in me so that I can have the confidence to pursue everything that I want in my life. And I think this is something that it's really, really missing in a lot of people as well, because you can see some people can get on stage and speak really well, and we really look up to them. But this group of people who can speak really well on stage and stuff, if you talk to them, you speak to them, a lot of them also have self-confidence issue. When they get down on stage, when you tell them you have done a great job, you have such a great speech, the first thing that they will say to you is that no, it's not that good. I have all these things to work on.
Yeah.
It's great to want to improve, but you also need to acknowledge that when you are there, you are good, right? Mm-hmm. And that's because they don't have that self-esteem and that self-confidence within that would make them really high-performing in different areas of their life and everything that they do.
Okay, so when talking about confidence, I think a lot of us, we struggle with confidence. So how do you increase someone's confidence level? What is your secret to increasing confidence?
Well, for me, my philosophy about confidence is two things. Number one, I call it fake it till you make it.
Yep.
Now, I know there are some people out there who are like, no, don't fake it till you make it. Be open, be vulnerable. Yep. But what I mean by fake it till you make it, it's that Tony Robbins talk about it, right? You probably know it. Success leaves clues.
Yep.
And whatever that you are not good at right now, someone else in this world has done it.
Yep.
And you want to fake the way they behave on the way they achieve their goals. Mm-hmm. So what it means is that you fake the physiology, right? Yeah. Physiology basically is your body language. If you are afraid of speaking and you want to get on stage or you have a big presentation, look at great speakers. How do they stand? How do they talk? How do they, how do they put up their voice when they speak? How do they hold the mic? These are things that you can fake it so that kind of build that confidence in you. The physiology is one thing. The second thing is psychology. Psychology is basically your mindset, right? Yeah. Now think about it. If you see a really, really great speaker, what is their psychology when they get on stage? What is their psychology or mindset when they get off stage, right? They have a lot of things going through their mind. But I know one thing is that great speakers don't go on stage telling their own mind that they're going to screw it up. Yep. They get on stage knowing I'm going to deliver the best talk, I'm going to nail it, I'm going to do it, right? But a lot of people who are not good at public speaking, what's going through their mind, it's a lot of negative things, right? That's why they get really, really anxious, right? So psychology is the second thing. And the third thing that you can fake it's basically practice.
Yes.
So you see successful people, great speakers, how do they practice? How do they do what they do? What do they learn? You go and learn the same thing. And with that three things at the same time, you'll be able to become a great speaker. And that for me works across many, many areas of life. When you talk about love relationship, when you talk about your finances, when you talk about career, fake it till you make it is one way to do it. And the second thing is what I call the confidence competence cycle. Yeah. And this is a chicken and egg thing. It's not something that you can solve it, but that's just the nature of it. And the way you want to understand this is you play around with it, is that when you're competent in something, you naturally become more confident.
Yeah.
Right? When you do something, when you speak over and over and over again, you become really good at it, right?
Yeah.
When you're really good at your career, you become confident in your job. Like you'll be able to command and tell people what to do, and you have that confidence.
Yeah.
But the thing about this is that this is a cycle.
Yeah.
It is a cycle because when we progress in life, there will be time when we start from the ground again. So take, for example, for me, from not being able to speak on stage, when I started my coaching company, I started to speak in youth conferences, youth events and stuff, 100 people, 50 people. And that kind of, when I do a lot of that built my confidence. But when I then have to go to the next stage where I speak in front of 500 people, 1,000 people, I need to rebuild that confidence again. Because the competence is very different now. It's like 500 people, 1,000 people. You want to do it very differently, right? Even same for people who are in corporate jobs. When they got promoted, what happened? They become so demotivated because they feel that they are not confident in themselves anymore, right? So there's this loop that's going on in our life. And for people to acknowledge that is very important for them to know that, to really look at how far they have come, right? When you start something new, when you get promoted to a new position, leading a big team, or you're hiring people for your business, you're doing more things, it's really important to look at how far you have come. Because at one point back then in your life, you were a beginner. And then you get to where you are. Right now you're a beginner again, and then you kind of go again to become a master and all these things. So that beginner's mindset, it's really important to build that self-confidence.
I really like your point of saying that in order for you to be confident, you need to model after someone who has already
100%.
done it. And also it also includes your mindset as well. So for your case, when you first started out public speaking, who are some of the people that you model after? And before going on stage, what are your mindset?
So when I started really, really early, when I was 21, speaking in youth conferences and whatnot, a couple of people that I look up to back then, one of them is actually the founder of Faith, Joel Neo. He is that charismatic person. He started his company back then. That's how I know him. And he's like that guy that I look up to. He's like, charismatic, getting on stage. People are like in awe. And I was like, oh, I want that feeling. So that's the first role model. But of course, over the years, a lot has changed. I looked up to Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mind Valley. He's really, really good speaker. He's able to really kind of help people to see a vision when he speaks. Yeah. And that for me is really, really important. A mentor of mine right now, Eric at Meets. His public speaking is amazing. So all these people kind of like have different things that make them really good in public speaking that I want to learn from. So those are the mentors that I have. And for me, the mindset that I have when I get on stage to speak, it's, for me, nothing in life is perfect.
Yeah.
It's always progress.
Yeah.
My mantra is, in everything I do, be it public speaking, running my coaching business, going out to coach more, speaking in larger crowds, for me, progress over perfection is my mantra. Yeah. It's like, you know what? I'm going to get on stage, I'm going to nail it, but I know that in the next bigger stage to come, I have something to work on. I will work on delivering even better, and so on and so forth. So for me, that mindset of progression over perfection, it's the key.
Yeah, reprogramming your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so reprogramming your mind. Why do you think reprogramming your mind is really important for people out there?
Why reprogramming your mind is important? I think, so I'm actually writing a book about this right now, Master Your Mind, Design Your Life. Yeah. The reason why the title of my book is Master Your Mind First and then Design Your Life is because over the years of coaching, I have a lot of people, like literally thousands of people whom I work with, or people who came and talked to me, all these things about, I want to find my passion, I want to find my purpose, I don't know what my goals are, I don't know what I want to do in life, my life vision and all these things. Those are the things that they come to me with. Yeah. But when I work with my clients, usually those are not the things that we work on. Mm-hmm. The things that we work on, that we ended up working on, was my client's mind.
Okay.
And that means a lot on mindset, a lot of belief system, a lot of subconscious mind that's holding them back from actually achieving those things. Because if you think about it, right, if you right now, if you don't know how to achieve your goals, if you don't know goal settings, if you want to, find your passion and all these things, you can just hit Google.
Yeah.
There are probably a gazillion articles out there that will tell you step 1, step 2, step 3 to do this, and all these kind of things. But is that what my clients pay me $500 an hour for? No. Those are just the surface. But what they pay me for is working on their mind, working on their belief, their mindset, their subconscious programming that will help them get the success that they want.
Yep.
So why is that important? It's because, I think you are doing yourself an injustice if you don't reprogram your mind. The reason why I say that is because, where we are right now in this present moment is shaped by our past experiences, right? Our past experiences shape who we are right now. And who we are right now is the person that is deciding on the future goals that we want to have, right? Now, what that means is that the future goals that we want to have currently are limited by what we now know, which came from the past.
Yep.
So if you don't reprogram your past, you're doing yourself an injustice because you won't be able to make your future to a higher level. Yep. So when you reprogram your past, when you understand what's happening in the past, when you're understanding the blocks, the limiting beliefs, or the subconscious programming that is stopping you from taking action, that is creating a lot of fear in you, when you reprogram them, who you are right now, it's a better person.
Yeah.
When you are a better person, you are able to think of a future goals or a future vision that is higher than before. And that's the reason why I think a lot of people need to do this. And this is one of the things I work with a lot of my clients.
So it's more towards working with their subconscious mind.
100%.
Okay. So why do you think that, what are the limiting beliefs that most of your clients have, or some of the past experience that shapes who they are right now that is preventing them from moving forward in life? What do you think some of the reasons are?
That's a really interesting question. I was just talking to one of the mentees yesterday, and one of the most common patterns that I see is my mentor, Marissa Peer, talked about this. She called this the disease in humanity. And this disease is, I am not good enough.
Yep.
And just think about it, how much time have we spent thinking? Like, I don't know about you, but even for me right now, after doing coaching for 10 years, there are times where this thought came, like when I want to get new clients that's paying me $500, $600 an hour, I always ask myself, like, am I really that good to charge that amount of money? Am I really that good to be able to deliver transformational results to my clients? It creeps up on and off, but of course now I've worked on kind of conquering it and so on. But a lot of us spend a lot of time thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like when someone tells you that you've done a good job, same example just now, you've done a great job, you will say no. And that's because deep within you, that in your sub-programming is, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm never good enough to be on that stage. I'll never be good enough to receive all these praises and compliments and so on. And this disease came from our past programming. Think about it. What would your parents say to their friends when their friends praise you? Like, oh wow, like, auntie, your son is doing such a great job. Your son is so smart, being on stage, so confident, blah, blah, blah. What would your parents say?
Probably reject it.
Exactly right. Your parents say, no lah, he's just starting out. No lah, he is, he's still new. There's so much for him to learn. Yes, it's true. But what's not true is that it creates that sense of not being good enough. Imagine you when you were a young kid back then, when you were young in high school or in primary school, when all these things happen, your mind at such a young age will make meaning out of it. Your mind will tell yourself, oh, why did my mom reject that praise? Oh, I think I know why. I'm really not good enough. I'm a nobody. I'll never be successful. My mom will always, not praise me and all these things. So these are one example. There's a lot more other examples that I could give. So for example, a fear of success. It sounds counterintuitive, but I realized this thing from a lot of my past clients and people whom I work with. A lot of people are afraid to take the next step to have more success, to have more money, to have better house, to have better quality of life, to be able to buy more things, to be able to do more things in life. And I noticed a pattern. There are people who are actually afraid of success. And the reason why this is happening is because, at least in my opinion, we are living in a society in Asia where, your parents always tell you that, don't have too much. Don't be too greedy.
Yeah.
Right? I know greed is not a good thing, but when that's conditioned in you, in your sub-programming, you will never be able to kind of take your whatever that you do, your career or whatever, to the next step. You will always fear that, what's going to happen if I make that next step? What's going to happen if I, climb up and be more successful? Is life's going to change? Like, my friend's going to hate me. When I make more money, what if my friend who's not making as much money, they don't like me anymore? All these kind of things at the back of your head, it's stopping people from really being successful in all areas of their life.
Yeah, okay. So like for people who are having this fear of failure, fear of success, and even self-doubt that says, I'm not good enough, what are some of the processes that you use to help them get out of that state?
How do I help them to get out of that state? Let me think.
And what do you think they can do themselves to get out of that state?
What can you do yourself to get out of that stage? Okay. For me, I think I kind of touched on it just now as well. It's first thing, it's look how far you have come.
Okay.
For whatever you do, you have came a long way, right? And a lot of people don't acknowledge that. A lot of people just look towards that future that, oh man, I need to get there. Oh man, I need to achieve certain things by the age of 30. I need to get $1 million and all these kind of different things. And that kind of creates so much negative feeling and anxiety for them that they need to do more. Yeah. But what I love to do with my clients, and I encourage all of you participants to do it, it's actually look how far you have come.
Yep.
See, whatever that you're doing right now, like you starting out coaching at a really young age, you have gone through a lot, right? And when you feel that right now in this moment, all these fears and all this not good enough kind of creeping in on you, kind of look back and see how far you have come. How have you kind of published a book? How have you kind of achieved getting your first job? How have you gotten into the first relationship, the new relationship that you are in right now, and so on and so forth. So look how far you have come, appreciate the learning of how far you have come, so that kind of build a bit of that confidence and competence in you to kind of keep going. And second, it's in my opinion, having a strong life vision as your North Star will be a good way to kind of snap you out of it. And the way, this is a very, very personal story. I shared it on my Instagram. Last month, I had a panic attack. I had an anxiety attack when I was alone in Pula in Croatia. And all this fear that you're talking about is kind of creeping in. And I know I was stressed because I have a lot of work, I have a lot of projects working on, I have clients and all these kind of different things. And I was alone overseas and all these things happening. And when all these things creep in, I was paralyzed, I was anxious. I just couldn't do anything. But what snapped me out of it, it's really thinking of contribution. Like, your life is not just about you. Your life, it's about the lives of other people that you have touched. When the next time when you feel that you're not good enough, the next time when you feel that, you have this fear to do this certain things, or fear of failure or taking this risk, just think about what if when you do it, a person's life is changed. Yeah. And I guarantee you that no matter what, no matter how, there will definitely be one person's life that is changed. When they see what you do, when they look up to you and see the things that the risk that you've taken, the hardship that you're going through, the pain that you went through, there will be people who will be changed. So use these two things as a way for you to kind of really stop yourself, acknowledge that all this fear and feeling is there, but those feelings are temporary. And then kind of go out and do it.
I think that is really powerful. Number one is to have gratitude, and number two is really to have a vision.
Yep.
Okay, so talking about vision, it also requires people to have a passion before they know what do they want to achieve for the long term, right? So how do people find their passion in life? Like, you found your passion at a very young age, and that's a very good thing. But so a lot of people out there, they don't really know what they want in their life. How can you help all these people to find their passion?
Well, I think in my opinion, I really, really dislike the term find your passion, find your purpose.
Okay.
Because it's like treasure hunt,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
When you go for a treasure hunt, the goal is simple. Find that treasure and you will win,
Yep.
right? Find a few treasure and then you win.
Yep.
But that's not how passion is. Because if you relate that to finding your passion, what that means is that, passion is sitting somewhere in the corner of the room, and all you need to do is just find and look around and find, and once you found it, life will be beautiful.
Yep.
But unfortunately, that's not the case.
Okay, so what is your definition of a passionate and purposeful life?
My definition of a passionate and purposeful life is a life when you succeed and be successful in all areas of your life. So what I meant by that, it's first, that's why I say I don't like the term find your passion.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer the term explore.
Yeah.
Explore your passion. Because explore for me, it's more towards the doing. Yeah. It's more towards the really kind of like doing it and trying it and really exploring different things.
Yeah.
Then you will find out what is that thing that will make you tick, right? Yeah. And when you explore, that's when you go through hardship.
Yeah.
And when you go through hardship, it will then be the time when you decide something that you do, if that's your passion. Like for example, for me, when I was young, 2021, I found out that coaching is kind of like something that I want to do. It can make money, and I think I can help people. It's a perfect combination. Yeah. And at the time, I was really thinking, when you have passion, you can change the world, you can conquer the world. Yeah. But at the age of 21, starting a coaching business, going into corporates, telling corporates that, hey, I can coach your team, I can coach your Gen Y, I can coach your young people to be happy, blah, blah, blah. At the age of 21, unfortunately, reality doesn't work that way. Okay. Company doesn't buy your passion in coaching, right? But so that kind of worked against me. But what happened then was, when I explored more things, then I realized there's a lot more to coaching. Yeah. In coaching, there's also a lot of other things that you need to do. You need to learn how to sell your program. Yeah. You need to learn how to brand yourself. Yeah. Are these things that I love to do? Not really. But are these things that I need to do in order for me to do what I love to do in coaching? Yes. So that's kind of like you explore and you start to know different things, and then you accept it as, okay, you know what? In order for me to pursue my passion and keep going in my passion of coaching, I have to do certain things that I kind of don't like to do, but I have to do it anyway, right? And so my advice for people about your passion, it's a lot of people are stuck in finding their passion. Yeah. It's because we all think that we are all on the same timeline. Yeah. What I mean by that is that, when you look at your friends, or some people told me, like, Kar Fei, you are only, such a young age, you're traveling the world, speaking on stages in different parts of the world, coaching clients, getting paid really big, a lot of money to coach and all these things. I really want to be like you and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you can. But maybe when you become like me, it's not at my age. Maybe you will do it earlier, or maybe you will do it later. We are all on a different timeline. Yeah. People get fixated with the fact that thinking that we are all on the same timeline. And think about it. Where did this thought came from? Our past programming. Yeah. Our past programming of 20 years in education, right? Ever since you start walking, there is a fixed path for you, right? Yeah. Go to kindergarten, go to primary school, go to high school, take this exam, take that exam, go to uni, graduate, get a job. 22 years of your life. There is a fixed timeline for every single person of the same age. Yeah. And we assume that life will work out that way. But unfortunately, life doesn't work that way, right? So stop with that timeline and start exploring to your own pace, your own time, your own resources, to really find and do what you love to do. That's my biggest advice.
Okay. I think that is really a good point, because you need to have your own timeline. We are all running our own races.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I think Colonel Sanders, he started KFC at the age of 65.
Yeah, 65 or 67 or something.
Yeah, and also I read a report that says that Jack Ma actually, he is still earning around $20 around at the age of 30 years old. So, yeah.
Exactly, right? We all have different timeline. And it's really, really important for us to kind of abolish that timeline and play to your own life. Like, start to ask yourself, like, if I live for 120 years, right? There's science to it. With the technology that we have and the future technology that we will have, we could possibly right now, for my age, not your age, for my age, I could potentially be living up to 120 years old.
Okay.
Now think about it. If I were to live up to 120 years old, and our current system right now is that you retire at the age of 56 or 57, what are you going to do for the rest of your life, right? So life is a lot about exploration. Take life as a playground. And okay, I have to share this because I think this is really important. A lot of people are having struggles with the passion and purpose thing. It's because most people equate their life to their job. Like, if you ask people about their passion and purpose and all these things, and what makes life exciting, what makes life colorful, what makes life passionate, purposeful, and abundant, people always relate it to only career. And that is sad. Because in life, there's so many other things that make up you as a person. And for me, that is the thing that people need to work on. Think about your love relationship. When was the last time you do something different for your partner? Think about your family. When was the last time you called them? Think about your health and fitness. When was the last time when you really take care of what you eat? When was the last time when you're really, really conscious about the things that you put inside your mouth? Right? All these kind of different things actually are the things that make life passionate, purposeful, and abundant. But most of the time, a lot of people equate their life to their job as one. That's why a lot of people, when they lose a job, they became so depressed because they have none other things. Their identity became the job. Their job became their identity. And that is one thing that people need to take away from, right? And then when you work on other things in your life, maybe then you'll be able to show up at work happier, and you'll be able to perform better, and you'll be able to be more confident in what you do, and then you start loving what you do. A lot of things in life, life is not black or white. It's always a mix, right? So that's something that I really want to share.
Yeah, I really love the way you say that. For me personally, I look at passion as also in terms of career, in terms of job, which I realized that I'm sometimes not passionate in other areas of my life. Yeah, so that is something that I need to work on. Then for your career, how do people find their passion specifically in their career? Because I know a lot of people, they are working on a job that they dislike, but sometimes they're even okay with it. So how can people change that?
How can people change what?
How can people change if they are working on something that they dislike, but it gives them the stability, the financial stability that they have?
Okay. How can people change that? I think first things first, when I work with some clients in this area, the first thing that I actually get them to do, like I just said just now, is to work on other areas of your life first.
Okay.
Because, see, there's a lot of research by Gallup that people go to work unhappy. And sometimes it's actually not because they hate their job, but it's because they don't have anything outside their job. They are not passionate about their relationship. They are not purposeful in their life, in a sense. They don't work on contributing to communities, running charities, and all these kind of different things. So when you don't have all these things, if work is the only thing in your life, it get a little depressed. So what happened then is what I call the negative spiral. When you're so negative, when you're so depressed, when you're so unhappy, you go to work, all this negativity kind of affects you as a person. It affects the way you perform at work. It affects your morale, your emotions in the workplace. And what does that do to your productivity? What does that do to your performance? You don't perform, you don't get your increment, you don't get your promotion. And then you feel really bad about it, you have less confidence, and you question yourself whether this is something that you like to do. And then you start the whole shebang. So it's a whole negative spiral. So that's why when I work with clients, I actually help them to kind of work on other areas of their life to kind of build up their positive emotion, so that they can show up at work a better person. And then when you show up at work as a better person, then you can start evaluating whether if you really, really dislike the job. Is it because of the job or is it because of you? So when you are positive, you go into the job, you do what you need to do, you are effective, you're productive, and when you get recognition and everything, do you feel good? Some people actually do. They're like, I realize that, when I show up better at work, I feel so good about myself and all this recognition that comes in, and then I have salary increment, bonus, promotion, whatever. It's like, actually not bad. Actually, it's not bad working for a company. It's not bad working in this job. But of course, I agree. There are some people who really dislike certain jobs that they're doing and so on. My second advice to that then, it's look at what you really, really like to do on your free time. What are the things that if you could do right now, you can do it for 24 hours non-stop?
Okay.
Like the reason why I found out that coaching is really something that I want to keep doing for the rest of my life, at least at this point in time, is that I can coach for hours and hours. I can talk for hours and hours. I can work with my clients hours and hours and hours without feeling tired. I can run a 10-hour seminar without eating any food from the beginning till the end, and I still don't feel hungry.
Because of the passion.
Because of the passion, the adrenaline, and all this emotion that's coming up. So for some of you, I know, sometimes financial security and stability, all these are important. So make sure that you work in a company while at the same time try to pursue something on the side. And I have a couple of people who kind of like volunteer to want to work with me on my coaching company because they have passion in coaching, they have passion in talent development, but they don't want to take the risk of quitting the job and doing it full time, which I totally understand. So what I do is I kind of work with them on a part-time basis, give them a bit of opportunities to do this and that, so that they kind of build that upon. And it's also their opportunity to really see if they actually love doing it, right?
Yeah.
So do something on the side, and at the end of the day, the world that we're living in right now, especially the workforce, majority out of 10 people, you probably have 6 people in the workplace who actually have something on the side.
Yeah.
It could be a small business, it could be an e-commerce shop, it could be investing in someone else's business and all these things.
Yeah.
And that's the future of work.
Okay. So moving from passion to purpose, what is the difference between passion and a purpose?
For me, passion, it's really that feeling that you have when you do certain things. Okay. When I coach, there's all this adrenaline, the happiness, that joy, that fulfillment that comes into me. That is the hard part of things. Yeah. And for me, purpose it's more towards the head part of things, which is, that purpose, it's like the really far end goals that I really want to achieve.
And how far is far? 5 years, 10 years?
For me, it's 25 years, 25 to 30 years.
Okay.
My life vision, it's really, if given a chance, I want to go around the world speaking and coaching and doing keynotes up until, I'm bedridden or up until I die, But of course, that comes with terms and conditions. I want my family to be with me and all these things. That's why financial independence for me is important, because that kind of brings my family together in the future and all these things. So that is the purpose. Purpose is like the North Star. It's that thing that kind of, when you feel shaky, when things are tough, when you look far ahead, that purpose is the one that's guiding you.
So when people find their passion, does that mean that they also find their purpose, or you need to explore different things in order to find that purpose?
Generally, it's when you found that passion, and when you make that passion bigger than yourself, that is then your purpose. So let's say you have a passion in, in sports. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do sports all day. You can be an athlete, you can be a national player or whatever. But what's something bigger than you? Because when you have passion, you do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Most of the time. You find it for yourself, you enjoy doing it, you feel happy, fulfilled. But what's something bigger? What is it that you want to do that would change the world, or change the people around you? And that's the purpose side of things. So when you think of what you do bigger than yourself, that's when you start to already create a stronger purpose in the future. Like for example, for me, coaching is that passion.
Yeah.
But the purpose, it's actually not coaching.
Yeah.
The purpose is to be able to use coaching as a way for myself to live a better life and to help others to live a better life. So coaching is just a tool. My purpose, it's really helping people to live a better life. helping myself and others to live a better life. That's why I write my book. That's why I'm starting my podcast. That's why I'm speaking all around the world. It's because I want to help people. That's the purpose, right? So for different people, purpose could, it's not, you found your passion and then you figure out your purpose, something that's bigger than you. And your passion usually it's a vehicle towards your purpose. If I were to put it that way.
Okay, so I know a lot of people, they have different passions in different areas of their life. So how can they define their purpose? How can they combine everything and make it to their purpose?
Well, I'm not too sure if I would encourage people to combine all their passion and turn it into like a strong purpose.
So one person can have more than one purpose?
I think one person can have multiple passion. I actually talk about it in my TED Talk. I call it multi-passionate.
Okay.
But that one purpose doesn't have to relate to all your passion sometimes. For example, I know there are people who are very passionate about playing games, right? Esports and all these kind of different things. And they can still have that passion that's not related in a way to the purpose. They feel happy doing it. They know that it's their thing. Right? Like when I play games, it kind of build me back up. It kind of give me a bit more confidence, whatever that is. And then you can go out to do your other passion, which is, I don't know, it could be in your career. It could be running your own company. It could be, starting a coaching business. It could be whatever, right? And all this multiple passion makes you a person. And then you don't need to combine everything to create a purpose. Your purpose my advice is really, look at purpose as something bigger than yourself. It's like, what are something that I can do for other people? What are the things that I personally have been through and I want to do it for people around me, right? That's your purpose. Do you need your gaming passion to be aligned to your purpose? I sometimes don't think so. So that's one way to look at it. But of course, we all have 24 hours a day in our life, and time is finite. So sometimes you might want to ask yourself, if you're spending too much time playing games that's not related to your purpose of, let's say, I want to create financial freedom for my family, or my purpose is to speak in front of 5,000 people, whatever the person's purpose is, right? When you spend too much time gaming, then it's not really helping you to get there, right? So you might want to lower down a little bit the time spent on the gaming, but it doesn't mean that you have to kill it off. Really don't. Because sometimes some people, I know some successful people, they Netflix and chill, but they do it very consciously. A lot of the problem with all these different habits that people have is that they do it subconsciously. A lot of people go home after work, put down their bags, grab a pack of chips, sit down on the sofa, turn on Netflix, eat and watch, and then it's 11 o'clock, it's time to shower and go to bed, and then repeat the whole cycle tomorrow. It's very unconscious, but some people do it consciously. They know when I get home, 7 to 9 p.m. it's my Netflix time, because that is the way that helps me to calm down so that I can then stop everything about work. And after 9 p.m. I can go to the gym. After 9 p.m. I can spend time with the kids. 9 p.m. I can go for dates with my partner. That's how they do it, when you're conscious about it.
Okay. Let's talk about abundance. What do you mean by abundance?
So abundance, basically, it's that feeling of having enough.
Okay.
And the feeling of actually being abundant means that feeling of having more, or things, you can have more things in your life. And of course, when I say have more things, it doesn't mean that, you hog every single things in your house. I'm a big fan of Marie Kondo, so, don't hog too much things, but you have to have that feeling of abundance so that you can attract more things that you want in your life. You can attract certain resources, you can attract certain people that will come into your life to help you to move towards your purpose, your goals in different areas of your life. And the reason why I think that's important is because, especially these days when we talk about passion, purpose, do something that you love, money will come after that. In a way that is true, do something that you're really good at, do something you're passionate at, then you can make money out of it. But most of the time, a lot of people take it to extreme. They're like, okay, I just focus on passion for the next 5 years, screw everything, then the money will come after 5 years. But that's not the case. If your mindset, again, it's the mind. If your mindset, it's all about, I need to be super good at certain things, then only I can get paid, then your abundant mindset, your financial mindset, it's scarcity. It basically means you have to get certain achievements, then only you can have the reward. But what if you can have it at the same time? And like for example, I started coaching at a really young age. If I were to go back then and start coaching and charge people $500 an hour, do you think people will pay me? No, people will think I'm crazy. But I started off, I still get people to pay me, really small. I started off with getting people to pay me through Starbucks coffee. I do free coaching for a year. All you do is either cakes or Starbucks coffee. That's it. It's a form of commitment, it's a form of payment. Because that abundance in me, I wanted those things. Starbucks is one of my favorite, right? And then over the years after that, I start to charge. I like 150 ringgit. I go into 500 ringgit. And then now I go into $500. Yeah. So that's the kind of abundant mindset. And a lot of people like don't have that. A lot of people feel that, oh, in order for me to have financial freedom, I need to work 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Or in order for me to have time freedom, I need to, screw my 9-to-5 job and start a business. Those things are not, it's a lot in the reprogram of the mind. The mind tells a lot of things about our abundant mindset.
Okay, so what are the abundant mindset that people can adopt so that things will start going their way?
What are the abundant mindset? Well, I think one of the very, very, very important phrase I love to use is, I can have it all. I can have it all. And for me, that it's abundant in all areas of my life. See, most people are talking about work-life balance.
Yep.
I don't believe in work-life balance. I personally believe in work-life integration. Actually, I would call it life integration, which means that you can have everything you want in your life. Good body, good health, financial success, career success, business success, whatever that is to you, love success, social, friend success, passion or community or contribution success. You can do everything, you can have it all. And that's my mantra for abundance. I can have it all. That's one. The second most important thing is actually more related to finance, and this is a very common pattern across a lot of people. Yeah. We all have heard that term before. Money is the root of all evil. Yeah. And this statement is very deeply rooted in like majority of the people in this world. And when they are getting paid more, or when they want to ask to be paid for things that they do, they are afraid to ask. And that's because their mentality is that money is the root of all evil. I shouldn't ask for money. I should give, all my values. I should do 110 things.
That comes from their past experience.
It's all come from the past experience. Okay. It's people that tells you what money is about. And I think, at least for me and a couple of people whom I work with, it comes from our parents. Our parents are like, don't make too much money, because when you make too much money, then if your friend is not making as much, they will feel bad. Or they'll be like, oh, that uncle who is super rich, he's not a nice person. Yep. All these things are conditioned in us that kind of make our mentality a scarcity mentality, which is really, really bad.
Okay. So I also I love your point that this message is not only for people out there, it's also important for parents to know it.
Oh, 100%.
The way you educate your child is everything.
Yeah, 100%. And it's really interesting because I can't wait to be a parent myself. I want to have kids after this. But it's also quite scary, because now that I know so much about how a parent's word or certain things that the parents say can affect a child, how would I be a parent? Like, what would I say to my kids? How would I manage my kids? How would I, control my kids? And all these kind of different things popping up in my mind. And one thing that I realized is that you can do certain things to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, kids are really smart. Yeah. They know how to interpret things. They make meaning out of things. Yeah. And there's just no way to kind of prevent that from happening. So for me, that's really interesting when I become a parent myself.
And also, I have read this research that says that for the first 7 years of your life, kids actually accepting things subconsciously. So whatever the parents portray on them, it will go into them. So I know a lot of parents, when their kids make mistakes, they're like, what's wrong with you? Yep. So when they say, what's wrong with me, then the kid will go like, there's something wrong with me.
There's always something wrong with me. Correct, and that's really bad. And one of the way that parents, I'm not sure if there are any parents watching this, or future parents maybe, one of the things that you can do is that ask the kids, oh, what happened? Allow them to explain the situation, the context of what happened to you, and then talk to them about that thing, not talk to them about them as a person. Because it's the natural reaction for a lot of parents is that, what's wrong with you? What do you do? We I don't know, at least for my parents, every time I did something, even though I think it's not my fault, I mean, now that I look back, they always blame me first. Like, what's wrong with you? Why do you do this? And they didn't even try to understand, and that kind of, imagine that kind of programming in our head. Of course, I'm thankful that I have mentors and coaches who kind of work with me on all these things that it's very much on the top of my head right now.
Okay, well, Coach Kar Fei, I've really learned a lot from you today.
Thank you so much.
And just one last question. What is the one advice that you would give to all our audiences out there to live a purposeful life, a meaningful life, and a life that they are passionate about?
One advice. I really think exploration. Really explore different things. The reason why I say exploration is because a lot of people that I've met, people whom I work with, or some young professional that I work with, a lot of them are just sitting there waiting for the right thing to do, waiting for the right life goals that they want to achieve. And that kind of stops them from taking that risk. That stops them from jumping in and doing it first, and all these kind of different things. So for me, exploration is the way forward. And the reason why exploration is important is because I want you to remember that it is okay that what you are passionate about right now is not what you're passionate about 5 years from now.
Yeah.
It is okay. Come on. All of us are not born with a fixed passion or a fixed way of living our life.
Yeah.
All of us are born to really look at different things, try different things, explore different things, do different things. Yeah. And then you figure out what you love to do, what you like to do, and keep doing that thing. But in order for that to happen, you first need to accept that it is okay to change. A lot of people come to me, they're like, Kar Fei, what if I do this and 6 months or 3 years down the road, I figure that I don't like it. Would I have wasted 3 years of my life? Of course not. You have spent 3 years knowing yourself. You have spent 3 years learning about life. You have spent 3 years really experiencing what life is, right? Yeah. So for me, exploration and adapting to change and accepting change is part of life. It's really, really important.
Okay, I think I could totally resonate with this. For me, I spent 4 years in accounting and finance, getting a degree there. But I realized that even though that is not my path, but I realized that everything happens for a good reason.
100%.
And I learned so much in accounting, and it may even be useful for me when I start my business.
Yeah, imagine one day when you have like a business of 30, 100 people, right? That would come into good use when you read P&L. Like for me, I can't read accounting, and I can't read profit and loss statement to save myself. Okay. Right? So we are very different, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Coach Kar Fei.
Thank you very much for having me, everyone.
Okay, and before that, I know you have a really interesting book coming up. Would you like to share it with our audience? Yes.
As I was sharing it earlier, the pre-order for my book right now, it's already open. So in the whole month of August, I'm launching the pre-order for my book called Master Your Mind, Design Your Life. The book is basically a summary of my 10 years of experience working and coaching and mentoring and speaking in all around the world with successful people in the corporate world, multimillionaires who run their own businesses, young professionals, and so on and so forth. It's a summary of my 10 years of experience on how I help them and how they actually live a passionate, purposeful, and abundant life. And I'm really, really excited to share this book because this book is a 10-year of my coaching experience working with all these people, and once you pre-order it right now, you'll be able to get it in Q1 2020. Nice. And 2020, it's actually my 10th anniversary in coaching, and I think symbolically this is something that it's really meaningful to me, and I think it is a way for me to kind of impact more lives around the world, because I'll be getting published by US publishers, and they might even consider translating it to different languages and so on. So I'm really looking forward to bring this book to the world, and if any of you are interested, I think we will share the link in the comment or somewhere on the page, so that you can actually pre-order that book right now, because this is the pre-order and this is the first pre-launch that will be launched in Q1 2020. If you miss this one, you probably have to wait until the end of next year for the second batch of the official launch. So really excited for that, and I hope all of you will get a lot of learnings from this session. I really enjoy this. Hope to see all of you next time.
Thank you so much, guys, and I really hope that you guys learned something from it. And we'll include the link for the book somewhere below the comments. And so if you're interested to live a more meaningful and powerful life, feel free to check Kar Fei's book out, and it will be in the description below.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to get first-hand video on how you can build ultimate confidence and get cutting-edge strategies to help you achieve your next breakthrough in life. Thank you so much.